I'm raw vegan. You're not, bitch. Okay, I'm not raw vegan. Fuck it. I don't even want to be if you're going to be like that.
Okay, well, hold on. Hey guys, what's up? My name is Jeannette, also known as Misfit Vegan, and I'm here with John Kohler from OKNotRaw.com. OKHeatProcess.com. And today we're gonna talk about juice cleanses and why he's not 100% raw anymore, and maybe some other things. Let's start talking about juice cleanses, which we definitely agree on. I do not think juice cleanses are healthy. Of course, if you can't eat, you have dental surgery, okay, you're throwing up, don't eat, right? But for losing weight, for cleansing the mucoid plaque, nonsense. John, can you give us your opinion on long-term juice cleanses?
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, here's the thing. I've been selling juicers as my living since 1998, and I'm the biggest independent retailer of juicers and promoting juicers out there, but I don't recommend long juice fasts over 30 days. I mean, I recommend doing a short juice fast if you want to just kind of reset or something, but when you get over 30 days, you're literally restricting the food you're consuming, or specifically the fiber you're consuming. In addition, a lot of times, most people going on a juice diet, which I'll call, or a juice feast if you want to call it, are doing fruit juices, which I am completely against. I think they have no place. You should eat your fruits whole, like Jeannette is doing here today, or minimally blend it up. And even when you blend it, you disturb the fiber matrix. And when you juice it, you disturb the fiber matrix even more. And more importantly, you remove some of the fiber. You don't remove all the fiber like some influencers will tell you. You remove a percentage of the fiber depending on the fruit or vegetable you are juicing. So for example, I know a lot of people love juicing pineapple. When Jeannette eats a pineapple, she gets 100% of the fiber in the best way because she chews it up and then swallows it. When you juice it, you lose 90% of the fiber. You keep 10% that is soluble, that dissolves in the liquid. But
and
then
why do we need fiber, John?
We need fiber to feed our microbiome. It's very important to make the short chain fatty acids with the fiber that we don't digest. I know some people in the raw foods movement will say we should only eat foods that we can digest, but then they're forgetting about another part of us, the microbiome, that eats the foods that we can't digest and get the nutrients out of, that then make short chain fatty acids that are essential for health.
And yes, he's saying the scientific reason. And the other reason is, and I'll translate, the other reason is that God made it perfect. It is what it is. It's perfect. It's perfect. It has what it has, and it has everything it has. And what you need when you're eating pineapple, you need the fiber, not only for the nutrients, but to feel full.
And to slow down the blood sugar absorption.
Everything works perfectly when you eat in line with nature's design. When you eat as it should be, although you don't eat a lot of fruit anymore. We'll talk about that in a minute. We'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so back to the long-term juice cleanses. Do you think it's dangerous? Would you ever recommend it to anyone?
So I mean,
under any circumstances,
like you said, like if somebody has like irritable bowel conditions, they can't handle any fiber. So getting them juicing for a period of time, and then slowly introducing foods that are gentle, so that they can, heal, I think can be good. That'd be like one of the exceptions. But otherwise, I think when you're limiting the fiber, and when you're like eating only certain foods, you're basically, the foods you eat feed your microbiome. So if you eat apples, pineapples, watermelon, whether it's juiced, and even worse juice because you're removing the fiber, you're selecting for microbes in you that'll flourish because, my microbes love digesting watermelon, pineapples, and apples. But then when you go to eat greens after you've done the juice fast, your microbiome's like, oh my God. And your body is like not used to digesting food with fiber because you've been not eating fiber for 30, 60, 90, 180 days, which is insane. And then people they're like, I need to cleanse more because I didn't go deep enough and I'm still dirty, so that's why I can't digest the food.
Ooh,
and it's
it's
not because you're not, it's because you're dirty. It's because you've screwed up your microbiome and your body is not used to digesting food because you went off it for a long time.
How long do you think it takes someone to recover from a stupid ass 30-day juice cleanse? Like microbiome-wise?
I think everybody's different.
Everyone's different.
Everybody's different because it also depends on the bacteria that you have in there, and some are recover better than others. And then what are you eating afterwards? Are you eating high prebiotic foods?
They're eating McDonald's.
Oh, then you're you're doing the worst. That's the worst thing you could do is ping pong.
You're going from the penthouse to the outhouse and back. You know Gil Jacobs? Have you ever heard of this guy?
I don't know.
He's a New Yorker, so probably not. Well, anyway, he said that. Okay, so let's go back. Okay, juice cleanses, no.
We're both against.
Do you ever recommend a water fast?
So water fasting can be helpful, but there's a big caveat. You know, I know a lot of people just say, oh, just do water fast and all this stuff. But like, here's the thing. Like I've known people in the raw food movement, right? I won't mention no names. And you go to these places, you pay them so that they will water fast you, and you think it's going to be safe. But I know people that have lost their life because they paid a raw vegan to water fast them, non-medically supervised.
Yes, I know some people as well.
Of course. So I don't recommend going to a water fasting when it's not medically supervised. In the United States, the place I would recommend is True North Health Center in Santa Rosa, California, run by Dr. Alan Goldhammer. He's a chiropractic doctor, but on his staff, he has medical doctors. While you're water fasting, you'll do blood tests, right? And you won't just like, and some of these raw vegans will say, the longer the fast, the better. Because you got to go deeper, you got to get more clean and all this stuff, and you can clean until you basically die, and that has happened.
And it's for emergencies only, right? You would agree?
So I would say that water fasting can be used therapeutically, and there's published studies on why it can be beneficial for many situations, like reversing diabetes, for example. But when you go to a medically supervised facility like Dr. Goldhammer, you know, he's not just going to say go 30 days. He's going to test your blood and do all these other checks on you. And if there's anything wrong, he's going to say stop your fast, because going longer will hurt you instead of help you.
Yes.
And I think that's the distinction. And I think that it can be helpful with chronic situations to reverse them. And so what I would recommend if people are considering a water fast is call Dr. Goldhammer. He used to do free consults, and he's honest with you. He'll tell you straight. You might not like what he says, because he's kind of like Jeanette and I, where we just tell it to you guys straight, and you may love him or you may hate him, but he's an honest guy, and he'll tell you what your condition will be helped by water fasting, or he'll just be like, no, you need to eat healthy.
Yeah, for the record, I don't personally believe in water fasting unless it's a life, like a risky situation where you're going to lose your life, right? A life-threatening illness, but mostly because when people come off it, they can't, like, they're so hungry that they can't think straight, and they start eating unhealthy food. So I think a lifestyle change is actually healthier than a water fast. Would you not agree to that? In the whole scheme of things, if somebody goes on water fast and then eats crappy food,
they shouldn't do it on their own, because that's the biggest problem with water fast. If you refeed improperly, so that's the thing.
But at True North, they don't have ripe fruit, so you're not refeeding properly at True North. I know so many of my clients have not refed properly because they don't prioritize ripe fruit there.
I mean, I'll agree with you. Yeah, like the quality of the food.
We're just being honest.
Places
we're just being honest.
Is not optimal, but they do refeed you properly in terms of giving you juice first and then transitioning to a little bit more solid food so that your body could catch up to
food.
not.
Why not fruit? Why not juice then fruit?
I agree with you that they overcook their food and it's not.
But long story short is that I'm not promoting doing water fasting unless it's a life-threatening illness. I think you would agree, a lifestyle change would be better than water fasting and then eating crappy food.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Lifestyle, John, you're all about the lifestyle. So
you have to have a good lifestyle. Yeah, like a water fast is not going to fix you, and then you can't just go back to crap again.
But that's the thing.
But also too, at True North, because I did send my dad there, and I paid for it for 30 days. And it did help his condition.
And then afterwards, he went to eating raw?
Yes, because while you're at True North, they're also re-educating you with classes during the day to what to eat and how to eat properly with their, they don't teach a raw food diet, but they teach the SOS free, which definitely could be improved a lot in my opinion.
And so he never touched another processed food ever again? No bread, no rice, no pasta?
I won't say he never touched it, but he ate way more salads and way more healthier than he ever did in his life after my dad came out there. Because also too, when you water fast, it resets your taste buds. So when you come out, you like McDonald's, you could taste greens, and the greens that taste the best because you had nothing for like 5, 7, 30 days.
So is he now heat processed vegan?
So, I mean, if we want to talk about my dad,
he's eating shit.
No,
my point is proven.
I didn't say that.
Sorry, spit everywhere.
I didn't say my dad eats shit.
Okay, tell me.
So what I was going to say is that my dad has Alzheimer's now.
Yes, and what is he eating?
So he's eating whatever the stupid place feeds him, which pisses me off, and I make stuff to bring to him so he could eat heat processed raw, or heat processed.
But on his own,
food.
he was eating a raw vegan diet or a vegan diet,
he was eating
really healthy.
I mean, he was on the Dr. Ornish study, which actually my mom doesn't want me to say publicly. And talk about this. Yeah. And he was on the Dr. Ornish study, and during the Dr. Ornish study, which is all plant-based vegan, my mom ate the same diet for at least probably over a year because he provided the food for them so that he could do also the meditation, the relaxation, the stress, free and exercising your brain, like the study he came out with. And it basically, in my opinion, from what I saw, significantly slowed down but did not reverse my dad's personal situation. But people in the study, if they had early stage dementia or Alzheimer's, were reversed in that study.
So wait, the point is that I'm saying if you go on a water fast, you are like 99% likely to go back to eating crappy food. So I'm wondering if your dad didn't ever go back to eating crappy food?
So he didn't pretty much go back to crappy food.
That's amazing. He's the exception to the rule then.
Right.
He's the exception to the rule.
Because also,
That's
I was
amazing.
just talking to Ellen, of course, and Ellen also talks, it does a lot of psychological stuff and also too, I know, I'm not going to touch you, but, and I want to get to know you more because I know,
you, John.
because we're similar, but we're different. She comes with a background of you had food addictions and all these crazy things.
I was overweight, food
and
addiction.
I never came from that. So
you had a major health issue.
On some levels, I don't understand. I want to understand more where you come from, so I could understand, more about why you say what you say. So
yes.
And so you don't sometimes maybe don't understand what I'm saying because we have different experiences in our lives.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, that's the human experience.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's why we're doing this interview, because we do have a lot in common, but we also disagree on some things. Speaking of the things we disagree on, so okay, John. So I'm basically fruitarian now.
Yeah, sure, I know.
What do you think's going to happen to me?
So do you supplement B12?
Never.
All right.
15 years.
So I had.
I'm low. I'm low in B12.
Okay. So
I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I accept you for living your lifestyle and living your beliefs.
But where do you think I'm going? No, but I'm not going to take it personal. I want to know your experience, opinion,
Sure.
and professional advice. Where do you think my health is going if I continue eating mostly fruit? I don't eat nuts and seeds. 0 supplements. I live on the beach in Miami. Greens when I want. Cucumbers, celery. I'll just eat spinach. I'll eat arugula when I want something. Yeah, probably every other day or sometimes every day. But a lot of fruit. It's mostly fruit, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Where do you think I'm going? And I'm not offended in any way.
Yeah, sure. So, all I could say is that I visited my friend Dr. Tim Trader, made a video with him recently.
Tim Trader, I know him.
And we hold up our hands on the camera and he's his hand is shaking. He can't hold it still because he thought like you did, that I don't need to take a B12 supplement, and now he's B12 deficient and has non-reversible nerve damage. So I don't want that to happen to anybody just over your brain thinking you shouldn't take a supplement. But so that's what I show on my channel, is I try to have options for people that don't want to take a supplement. So there are foods now that are vegan foods that have B12 in it, certified, so you could eat this food instead of taking a supplement. So for example, the last trade show I was at in March of 2025, I made a video on, there's now a nutritional yeast that is not fortified from Germany, right? That's organic, that has B12 because the yeast made the B12.
I wouldn't put yeast in my body.
Well,
why would I want yeast in my body? I
dead
was
yeast.
getting colonics.
It's cooked. It's cooked yeast.
Whoa.
But cooked
We don't do
yeast
cooked
versus
food here.
Cooked food.
Hold on.
Cooked yeast
You've been eating
versus-
raw for the past few days, or have you been
I've been
supplementing
all raw.
with yeast?
No, I don't. I have some of that
I'm
yeast
joking,
at
I'm
home,
joking.
but I don't.
No, you've been eating all raw for the past few days?
Absolutely.
That's why you look good, John. You're glowing again.
Well, so
no,
what I'll
because
tell
you've
you,
been
I want to
looking
tell you,
cooked.
she looks a lot better in person.
John, tell him. Let's zoom in on
She
it.
looks
Yeah.
a lot
No,
she looks a lot better in person than her videos.
John,
I was
that's
really
the first
impressed when
thing
I
John
saw
said
her.
to me.
I was like, wow. Seriously.
Yes, thank you very much. That's the first thing he said, so I knew we were going to do an interview. Thank you very much. I totally understand because you're concerned, and I think you're doing this from your heart. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sharing with people.
I don't want people to go in.
Yep,
I don't want people to get damaged from their
Tim
diet.
Trader, I understand. I know him. I've interviewed him, and I don't.
And I've seen other people over the years too, also deficient. That I won't mention names either.
Now I'm not 100% sure about this, but correct me if I'm wrong. Tim Trader did a lot of water fasting and juice fasting.
Well, you'd have to talk.
Yes or no?
You'd have to talk to Tim. You'd have to talk to Tim.
I have talked to him, and he said yes.
Him.
Yeah, I interviewed him.
Okay.
So that is the difference between me and Tim. I refuse to restrict my fruit and vegetable intake. I refuse because if my body's hungry, I know it wants something. It wants a vitamin, a mineral, or a nutrient. And some of these raw vegans take it to the extreme, and they're like, I know better than my body. My ego knows better than my body. Okay, so I don't believe in that. I believe in nature. I believe in God. I believe in no restriction. I'm not being afraid of fruit and vegetables. I'm afraid of processed foods. I'm afraid of McDonald's and Snicker bars and Pop-Tarts. I'm not afraid of fruit and vegetables. So yeah, that's the difference between me and Tim Trader personally. Now, what else were we going to talk about, John? So our difference is, fruit. Oh, hello. So you're not raw anymore. How long were you a raw vegan? 100%. Like
I mean,
25 years,
we'd
right?
have to look in my videos, 25, 26 years, 99.9 is what I would claim.
Yeah, because me too.
Like
nobody's
cashews, they're technically
no, but
labeled
that's
raw,
what's
but they're
wrong
cooked.
with the raw vegan movement. They're insane.
So like everybody here at
So-
this event, if you had
No,
some of the
we're not raw.
cashew-based stuff, you ain't raw no more.
You a fake motherfucker, and we know you, and we got you on camera. But no, you know what I mean, raw. Like no cooking food.
Right.
For 25 years, 26 years.
26 years, yeah.
Okay, and for the last 3 or 4 years, you've been a healthy,
high raw
vegan.
Right, and I want to differentiate. I'm not going to vegan junk food places.
No.
So I have the raw food temperature, people think it's 118, could be 105, 114, whatever your number is. But now I have a heat processed food temperature, which is 248, and wet heat. Below that, we don't form the carcinogens, we don't get the toxins in the food, and it does break open the food so you get better absorption of some nutrients. I mean, you kill all the enzymes, of course, so I'm not going to say I'm keeping that. But the thing is also it unlocks and allows you to eat more foods that you wouldn't otherwise eat, such as like purple potatoes or like rice generally is
Why
not
do you
eaten raw.
why would you want to eat those when you, for so long, you like talked about it and claimed and knew that the truth is that's dead? So tell us now why you choose to eat those foods.
Because raw was no longer working for me.
Okay, tell us that
Yeah.
story. What happened?
Sure. So what happened was there's a few things, but I mean, it was a short story because I could get the long story. The short story is that I was getting, number one was I was getting headaches, like for no unknown reason. I mean, I was doing my diet for all these years and I started getting headaches one day. And I'm like, this is really weird. I eat the healthiest diet. But maybe I wasn't eating all fruit. I was eating the vegetables, and they were toxic, and then it gave me headaches. I mean, I don't know, but
Those sprouts.
yeah. Actually, I don't eat a lot of sprouts. Actually, I wish I would like to.
Well, Robert Morse says the more sprouts you eat, the more protein, the more disease it forms in your body. So maybe it's all the sprouts. But okay,
I don't eat sprouts, but I do juice greens, and I eat greens, and greens are one of my favorite foods, and they're higher in protein than fruits. I would totally agree with that. But
okay,
nonetheless, I started getting
don't know.
headaches, and then I went to like an acupuncturist. He was sticking all these needles in me to try to get rid of my headaches because I'm like, if I'm already healthy, eating a healthy diet, why am I getting headaches? So I'm like, okay, maybe it's some meridian or some muscle thing is not aligned. So then I went to acupuncturist. Osteopath, which are super expensive, don't go
I've
to
been
them.
to an osteopath.
And he was honest though. I love my osteopath. He was like, John, he's like, I did all I can for you, man. You shouldn't come to me anymore because it's not going to help. I mean,
So wait, they found nothing wrong with you?
You didn't find anything wrong with me.
Okay.
And then I went to a chiropractor. They did X-rays to make sure I'm all aligned and everything.
Okay.
And like nothing was wrong with there either. And then I'm like, I don't know if you know about my story, but I had spinal meningitis, which started off as headaches, and I almost lost my life when I was younger. So then I started freaking out, like, hope
you were afraid, of course.
Yeah, I was afraid because
Yep.
I almost lost my life, and this is this is why I live the healthy lifestyle that I do and try to do the best I can to live healthily. And when I'm getting headaches, which reminds me of my trauma experience, then I'm kind of freaking out. So then I went to a traditional doctor, which I know some people are like, oh man, I'm not. Like traditional doctors are the worst, but I wanted to see what they would say because I mean they do have a skill set. They could diagnose stuff pretty good, but then their solution is definitely not good.
A plant-based one or a regular doctor?
No, just a regular doctor.
Okay, what did he say?
And he said, check this out. He said you have pre-diabetes, and I'm like thinking in my head, fuck this guy. And I'll do the F-bombs here because you do. But I'm like, no way, dude. I totally don't have pre-diabetes. People get on this diet and they heal their diabetes. There's no way I have pre-diabetes. And he gave me a prescription and stuff. I mean, I never took it or nothing, but I'm like.
Prescription for what?
I don't know, whatever they give for pre-diabetes.
Whoa.
And then I did blood tests, and my blood test was like 1 point in the high range, like my A1C, which is like your long-term blood sugar. So then I'm like, this is really interesting. And then my cholesterol and triglycerides were a little bit too high. And then I'm like, and then after that, so then I was still trying to figure that out. Went to all my friends, asked people I knew, and they were at a loss.
Yeah.
And then I did a microbiome test, and my microbiome test said I have an overgrowth of this bacteria called Prevotella copri, which I would assume evidently loves sweet fruit. And this was like a big majority of my microbiome, and you want to have not overgrowth. So like if you lived in New York City, right? They have rent control. Like once you move in, you don't move out.
Yes.
Because once you move out, the rent goes up,
Yes.
right? So they got rent control, and that's your microbiome. Like once the bacteria moves in, they don't want to move out. They're like, we're here. This is what we do. This is what we eat.
Did you ever during this time? Did you ever consider that it wasn't your diet? It was something else.
Oh, I was dirty. I needed to fast more. I needed to juice fast for 100 days.
No. Wasn't your
and get
diet?
clean.
Wasn't your diet? Was something? Did you ever consider that it wasn't the food? It was something else in the wheelhouse of health. air quality, your house, where you're living, emotional, your stress level. Did you ever look into those things?
I considered that, but I've already pretty much dialed all those things in,
Yes, okay.
Like I don't have an addictive personality. I'm very I have a good structure, and I'm very disciplined, in my diet and everything I do.
Do you believe in colonics?
Yeah, so I've done colonics a long time ago when I first got into raw foods.
But you didn't.
I didn't do any colonics for this
during
situation because I didn't think how could your colonics be
But
connected. I mean,
are you
what
a
do you
fan
think
of
in
Arnold
blood gases?
Are you are you an Arnold Ehret follower?
I mean, I've read his books, but so what I think is some of the books.
He says all diseases or all illnesses start in the colon.
Yeah, but when he wrote, that's why I got a microbiome test. So then I saw my microbiome test. I had an overgrowth of this Provotella.
So then to get a colonic to flush that out, no?
No,
want to do that?
That'll change your microbiome, but then also it could take out good guys. So
yes.
I mean that
but then you eat and you put them back in.
Well, it's not exactly that easy. But anyways, the Provotella I learned hates potatoes, and I would assume it loves fruit. So I was eating fruit all the time, 2 meals of fruit a day, and then one savory salad at night, or the other vegetable meal. And then I'm feeding this Provotella because obviously there's a lot in me. And if you go to sub-Saharan Africa, people that are eating in the bush, they have Provotella, but not in the high amounts that I would. And then it says they hate potatoes. I'm like, oh, as a raw vegan for 25 years, I never ate potatoes.
So
and maybe if I had some potatoes.
As soon as you ate the potatoes, your headaches went away? Is that?
No, well, it's not that simple. So as soon as I reduced my fruit content and increased the, purple potatoes, purple sweet potatoes, cooked beans and rice in the Instant Pot, and now I reduced the fruit and ate that instead.
Yes.
So more starchy vegetables and beans.
Okay.
Right. Then my headaches went away when I wasn't eating.
Stopped the detox, perhaps. I'm not even.
Well,
I know that word detox is loaded.
Yeah, right.
But you stop the detox and you stop your symptoms.
I don't know. You could say, but then also too,
I'm going to convert John back to raw. It's going back to OK raw. No more OK heat
when
process.
When I check my blood now, my A1C was down, and now also my triglycerides and LDL was lower. So all my blood markers also changed. So I mean, I know you don't believe in blood tests and all that stuff. And that's
well,
cool.
John, actually, what you don't know is that you inspired me to get a blood test many years ago from jasonshealth.com.
All right, great. And you got the good deal on it. Yeah, and you could do it yourself without going to a doctor. You're the person that helped me get a blood test because I'm an entrepreneur. I don't have health insurance. Yeah, me neither.
And you helped me with that, so thank you very much. And I got a blood test just for the content. So every 3 to 5 years, I get a blood test.
You should do your B12 methylmalonic acid and homocysteine next time.
Okay.
But not just because the B12 will tell the number, but the homocysteine and methylmalonic acid tells that if the B12 is actually working. In your body
do those. Yes, I do those. You told me that. Good, and they're low.
Very good.
But the thing is that I don't believe I need to have the same B12 as a meat eater.
Okay.
Like a fucking 250-pound meat eater.
I respect that.
And honestly, I do personally believe that if I do ever have symptoms of a B12 deficiency, that I would take a supplement, and it will reverse very quickly. I mean,
you better catch it right as soon as you get any symptoms, though. Seriously.
I don't live in fear.
And get a shot.
I do not.
Right.
Yeah, I would get a shot probably. Yeah. I would get a shot, but I just do not believe in fear-based thinking.
No,
and
I'm cool
Doug Graham's one of my mentors.
Yeah, right.
30 years,
of course,
and he goes, just got some B12. You gotta love this guy.
I respect that.
No, you don't. But listen, okay.
I do.
So, last thing is that
I wouldn't do it, but I respect it.
Last question: what have you been eating? Because we've at a fruit festival, John. What have you been eating?
So, I mean, pretty much, I've been eating the fruit. I've been doing 2 meals of fruit, like they've been doing here, and then I do my savory meal, and guess what? My headaches came back.
Huh. Interesting. What? So the fruit
I don't handle my fruit as well as I used to.
You're getting back to the detox process. So we're gonna put in the potatoes to stop this. Okay, I understand. Okay.
I mean, that's your interpretation, of course. And
that's I'm no doctor.
And I'm glad for your interpretation. And
no, you're not.
I know I am. It's cool.
No, I really like this. Cool. This guy's cool. Because
I'm accepting.
He can take a joke.
Whatever, people can think what they want to think. I have my own reality. She has her own reality.
The truth is, though, at the end of the day, John is eating healthier than 99.9999999% of the population.
All cooked food that people eat is totally shit and bad and is toxic and it has carcinogens and everything. And don't do it.
Now, you're a high raw vegan, but are you vegan?
Yes.
Okay, why you look? What was that look?
I am.
No, because the last time we talked, 2 years ago.
Define vegan for me.
Thank you. Now, wait, hold on now.
Have I been vegan all 30 years that I've been doing this? No.
No, but currently you are vegan because the last time we talked, you were taking a supplement from whey protein.
Well, no, it wasn't whey.
It was some type of whey.
It's basically, no, it's fermented from like milk products.
So do you still take it?
So I stopped it for a while, then I just started taking it again.
So you're not vegan.
Fine. I'm not vegan.
Heard it here first, baby. Can I title the video?
Yeah, do you grow your own food?
Absolutely. I can't even sprout. Do you sprout, like in your house?
I just sprouted today. There's some sprouts in my freaking bag.
I can't even sprout. Like, I don't know, you're supposed to water it, rinse it, to drain. I can't even do that. I don't know what happens, so that's why I eat fruit.
And the other thing I want to say for you guys is like, let's not be into labels here. Labels, you're trying to elevate yourself to some greater thing. I'm raw vegan. You're not, bitch. Okay, I'm not raw vegan. Fuck it. I don't even want to be if you're going to be like that.
Okay, well, hold on. You label yourself a raw vegan. All the time I see your thumbnails, it says 29-year raw vegan.
All right, so like
so
that's
what
am I going to say? 29-year, like you can't spell it out. The YouTube titles have to be like
views,
70.
But I just say.
So because I have this one supplement that's derived because it's going to help my health and build my health. All right, fuck it. I'm no longer a raw vegan.
You heard it here first, baby. Listen, this guy's cool, so do me a favor.
I just tell like it is. See, I'm transparent, unlike some people.
That's what I like
know
about
you're
you.
transparent too, and I like that about you too.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. No,
you may give me a high five.
All right.
I love it. This guy's cool. Okay, so now, anything else you want to share? That's what I do like about you. You're very transparent.
I tell like it is, man.
Raw vegans.
I ain't trying to be like some shady shit and say I'm raw and I'm not. No, I'm just going to tell you like it is.
We got a crowd here because you're a real one, and I appreciate that. That's why I'm interviewing you, because a lot of raw vegans are not raw. I know a raw vegan who, they're an alcoholic. No joke. Okay?
Alcohol ain't healthy.
So John eating these purple potatoes, which absolutely healthier than.
And they don't. I'm going to say they don't taste good.
I don't.
Like
I
I'd
don't
rather
mind
eat fruit.
you eating them. I don't care because I want you to feel good,
Yeah.
and I want everyone to do what makes them feel good. Nobody needs to eat raw if they don't enjoy it. If they're getting headaches, raw's not for you.
Well,
and that's
I enjoy eating raw. It's just that it gives me
Nobody
headaches.
gives you headaches and you don't
when
enjoy
I eat
headaches.
Too much fruit.
No,
and I don't enjoy headaches, and I think that's a problem.
Exactly.
Why are you getting the headaches? Let's not take a Tylenol. Let's fix the reason why you're getting the headaches. For me personally, I started eating some processed food.
So me and John totally agree on this. There's not one way for everyone to eat, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Each person needs to find their own balance of whatever they're doing.
Some of these raw vegan gurus, they say there's only one way. We're not going to name names.
Like you got to juice fast and then you got to go.
Or like there's a certain way to eat.
Right.
And this is the way. And I understand our species-specific food is fruit. Now, you do not agree with that?
So I agree. Originally, our species-specific diet was fruit, but also over time, if you look at some of the, like I have videos on this topic actually, where over time our diet as humans, or before we were humans, evolved and changed over time, and we did adapt to eating cooked food as humans.
But okay, well you answered that pretty good.
Yeah.
Originally it was fruit.
Originally it was fruit, but we're not living 15 million years ago now when we did eat fruit, all fruit basically, or almost all fruit, and we're a lot different now. So I don't think we should eat fruit like we should, like if you're on a paleo diet, that you'd eat like you ate back then, which I will say in the history man has eaten meat.
We're gonna agree to disagree on that one.
All right.
And is there anything else you want to share with my audience? Honestly, guys, John has taught me a lot, so I'm gonna leave his website below. You can get a juicer. Oh my God, people always ask me for a code. I don't sell juicers. John does. I don't have codes because I want to be able to say whatever I want. So
I say whatever I want too.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
and
you do.
I piss some
you
companies off,
bitch,
and some companies. Sorry, I apologize. After meeting you in person, but
It's okay. It's good. It's good TV. So now I don't have a NAMA code. I don't have a Vitamix code, but John will give you a discount. Go to OK.
Well, my discount
process.com. No, OKRaw.com.
My discount juicer's YouTube channel is for all the equipment.
I'll put everything below. Yeah, for sure. And anything you want to share with my audience, who's a lot of fruity cuties out there. So be careful. No bitch.
So the one thing I'll say to you, Jeanette, that I want to say, is that okay. So if I'm going to interview her for my channel, but how important do you think it is to have homegrown or locally grown food versus industrial food, and do you think you could really thrive on eating industrial food? Because I've seen you buy a lot of industrial food.
Okay, you've been watching my channel. I
mean, of course, I'm all into growing your own food, and that I believe, and as I've talked to many people here, there's a significant difference in homegrown or locally grown that the farmer versus just industrial grown food.
Okay, this is a great topic. Amazing
topic. It's an advanced topic, because most people don't even talk about this.
No, this is a great question, a great topic. Locally grown food is absolutely better. However, locally grown cooked food is not better than commercially sourced, imported raw food. There's no way. There's no way.
Oh,
Because
I
when
will disagree with you because
No, I know you do.
my homegrown food that I heat process at the low temperature is way better than a shit orange imported from Mexico that's
But if
unripe.
I put you in a how much the temperature? 200 degrees?
248.
What will happen to you if I put you in that? You'll die, correct?
Yeah, I'll steam.
Yes, you'll steam. So that's what you're doing to your food. Your food is dead. I think food that has less nutrients, that's alive, is more powerful and full of more vitamins, minerals, and nutrients than food that is locally grown and dead. But hey, that's just me. You know, I'm eating fruit, being cute.
Yeah,
for
we
now.
could
But
agree
we'll
to
see.
disagree.
We'll do another interview in 15 years.
Yeah,
Let's
check
see
us
what
out
happens.
in 15 years and see what's going
I'll
on.
be 55. How old will you be?
I'm not going to share my age due to
Oh, you
privacy
know what?
reasons.
You know what? But
I'm ageless.
But John,
as
appreciate-
Marcus Rothkrantz has said.
That's your friend, right?
Well, I know Marcus. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I
went
have
to
a
his
problem.
house.
No.
It's all good. I know a
The
lot. I know a
anti-fruit
lot
crew.
of people, man.
No. I never met him. He seems like a great guy, but the way they eat,
I mean, they do eat high fat, and you know that's
some
I don't-
miso soup. He calls
I
himself
eat
a raw
miso.
vegan.
I
He's
eat
going to
miso.
eat miso. Yeah, you're
I
not
put
calling yourself a
miso
raw
in there.
vegan, although you do on the thumbnails. But okay, we're not gonna go there. Do me a favor, stop calling yourself a raw vegan. It bothers me because
What
you're
should
not.
I say instead?
Of high raw vegan or heat processed vegan or healthy vegan, but you're not vegan. So hold on, wait. What are we gonna call you? You're just a healthy human.
We need to get rid of labels
You're
in
a
the whole
healthy
movement, in my
human.
opinion.
You're a healthy vegetarian. I'm a fruity cutie with a booty, but I'm going to see you in the next episode, guys. John, you're amazing.
All right,
you're
thank you.
amazing. Thank you very much. All right, bye, guys. Check me out on his channel. All right, bye.